Good day everyone, we are Introspective and welcome back to the 7th video of the top-down shooter tutorial series. Today we will be discussing the implementation of prefabs into your game scene. The first three we have are the zombie assets that we use for the creatures that the players will be fighting, as well as the player themselves. Later on, we will be discussing the environment prefabs that were used across the entire terrain. That being said, let's get into it. The first one we have is the slow zombie, which has a modifier of 2 speed and an acceleration of 1. Although, because it is slow, it has higher HP and HPO 3 points. Players are able to deal 1 damage to zombies with their current gun, and the slow zombie serves as the tankiest of the 3 zombies. The second zombie is the fast zombie, which has the speed of an 8 and an acceleration of 18. It is incredibly fast, but will spawn very rarely across the spawn points. The third one we have are the normal zombies, which spawns the most frequently amongst all 3 of them. They will chase the player and has the most normal spawn time among the 3 of them. It has a speed of 3.5 and an acceleration of 12. All 3 of them requires a nav mesh in order to operate. The nav mesh surface, which has been discussed in the previous video, is the one found within your terrain, and you can find if it is working by pressing into the AI navigation and then showing the nav mesh. This entire area is the only area that these zombies can interact with or even walk on. Moving on with the player, it is comprised of several scripts that allows a player to perform the interactions needed to survive this zombie apocalypse. This is such as the player shooting, the player health in which the enemies can dash at, and then the player movement and the score manager. It also has a rigid body and a mesh renderer in order to have interactions with the real world, and the physics needed for it to simulate within the game scene. Both the prefabs used for the player and 3 entities are separated into several components as seen in here, but it is important to note that you must interact with the main component, which is in this case the player, and then the soldier demo. And for the zombies, it is the zombie prefabs themselves, and when you drop them down, you will see the body parts in which you can see them. Each one is different from each other because since the zombies are derived from the variants that we uploaded from the zombie asset stores. If you're looking to a more friendly form of creating prefabs, you can create your own. And this scrap that we have here, we were able to create our personal testing prefabs when we haven't implemented the animations and the overall appearance of these prefabs that we use for the creatures. You can use such as the capsule. Check it out. It has the same things that our zombie prefabs have, but in this case it's just a capsule with a bunch of players resembling an entity of sorts. And then we also have a blue variant resembling the player. This we use for the overall creation of the start of this entire project, and you may do as well if you haven't started on your own prefabs. Next one we have is the cold prefab. This one is used for the gun shooting script that found on your own player, as you can see here, and it is called whenever the shoot script is called by the player. So these things appears whenever you play the game. That's what I will demonstrate right now. You can see here, the three of them are chasing me, but the animations for them will be discussed in a later video. But right now, you can see the bullet prefab spreading across the entire field. The next one we have are the various prefabs used for the terrain themselves. Each one of them is found within the assets that you can download from the asset store. In this case, we are using Skype and Cap for the recreation of the environment. We have plants, props, and the various things used for the overall decoration of the open field. As you can see, these parts of the prefabs are not included in the terrain modification, as seen here, because they are manually put in. If these are prefabs, if you are about to place prefabs that don't really require to be in the open area and just requires to be in certain parts, you have to manually build them, such as the case for the fences, the lampposts, and other sorts of stuff. In this case, we have a likely one, but there's also the unlit variants, such as this one, which you can use, but it also depends on what types of prefabs you're using at your own painting. Next one we have are the plants used for the terrain creation. We have the bushes, the pear trees, the birch trees and the oak trees, the mushrooms, but we only use one variant of the mushroom in order to spread across the entire field. As you can see, each one of them has a mesh under, but they don't have a mesh collider built inside of them. Unless of course it is a tree such as the fir tree with a capsule collider, the oak tree, the mesh collider, and the birch tree with a capsule collider. Since the grass don't really stop player in real life, so they don't need a capsule collider, mesh collider, or anything sorts in order to project some sort of obstruction within them. If it's not the case for trees, as you need to still put the colliders in them in order to simulate that very physical feeling within them. And then we have the other sorts of assets that we use spread across the terrain, such as the stones, the stumps, but we didn't use the water or the beach because the scenario does not call for the need of a bridge water terrain. But in this case, you can see the stones used, and they themselves also have mesh collider. If you wish to put a mesh collider on one of the prefab, it will still transfer to the terrain when you put them. Such as this one, I can just add component, search for mesh collider, and it will register when you play the game. So if you go around and touch this sorts of prefabs, even when you place them using the paint details, you will not go through them. Instead, you will be obstructed because it has a collider. Moving back, if you want to integrate more of these prefabs, in this case we have the spawners. Each one of them has a specific zombie variant that has been put inside of them, in which it will spawn within specific intervals. As you have seen a while ago, it spawned a bunch of zombies that started to chase the player. And that is it about the prefabs. Thank you all for watching, and hopefully you've gained some sort of knowledge on how to handle prefabs at your own game unit scene. Goodbye.